pro-choice always made sense to me because I don't like people telling me what to do. And I always just like, it's your body. Who the f am I to tell you what to do with your body? So that always made sense, all right? However, I still think you're killing a baby. See? That's where it gets weird.
Welcome. Thanks for joining me. Got a good story for you today. Talking about abortion, as you've seen. The story I'm pulling from today is the Catholic bishops of the country deciding that it might be time to change their tactics when it comes to abortion as an overall topic and not being so solidly stuck in the religious beliefs of zero tolerance. I know to a lot of people this is a hard topic to talk about when it comes to religion and the acceptance of abortion, but I think we need to really take a look at whether we can continue down this path of refusing to let abortion at all, or the desire to not accept any abortion, as a long-term losing strategy and also unsafe for Americans. So let's roll into it. Catholic bishops have changed course on abortion, but their end goal is the same. A funny thing happened to the U.S. Catholic bishops during a victory lap after the Supreme Court Dobbs decision, which overturned a woman's constitutional right to an abortion. When they turned around, they found that not many ordinary Catholics were running with them. Since the court's ruling, ballot measures protecting a woman's right to choose have been approved in 6 states. Like other Americans, most Catholics support legal abortion with some restrictions. I don't think it's too much to ask for people to know that they're going to have a baby and make that decision earlier rather than later. Because I think to most people, it's obscene to wait until it looks like a baby in the womb and then do it. I think to most people, it seems disgusting to wait until it's almost born to finally make that decision instead of making it as early as you possibly can. We shouldn't have a problem with restrictions.
It's not a baby yet. That's what they say, which may or may not be true. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I'll tell you, my gut tells me that doesn't make sense.
Sorry, tell me how this works. Bacteria is life on Mars, but a heartbeat isn't life on Earth? Weird.
It's not a baby yet. That would be like if I was making a cake and I poured some batter in a pan and I put it in the oven, and then 5 minutes later you came by and you grabbed the pan, you threw it across the floor, and I went, what the f***, you just ruined my birthday cake? And then you were like, well, that wasn't a cake yet. It's like, well, it would have been. If you didn't do what you just did, there would have been a cake in 50 minutes. Something happened to that cake, you cake murdering son of a bitch.
Not sure what had happened, but unwilling to admit that their obsession with abortion was a problem. Luckily, their leaders had a new plan.
I want to mention one thing about abortion and inflation. So voters had said inflation is most important. But in Pennsylvania, when you look at that was the exit poll out of there for NBC News said that 35% of people said that the issue of abortion was their number one issue and inflation was the next at 29%. So
abortion is a big topic to the voters, and the Republican Party, backed primarily by the religious right because of belief systems, needs to accept that we possibly have to allow a little bit of abortion with restrictions if we're going to stop this tidal wave of lost values. The demise of Roe was a great victory, but will be a pathetic victory if we fail to win the minds and hearts first and foremost of our fellow Catholics. Bishops, he said, must encourage them to be closer in heart and mind to the church. The base of religion, Christianity, Catholic, Judaism, all of these things have to realize is that we can't turn this tide back by direct, just staunch opposition right now. This will be a slowing of this progression by fixing our families. That acknowledgement in no way changed their goals. It only changed their strategy. Overturning Roe was just the beginning. Now the action moves from the Supreme Court to Congress and to the states, and most importantly to public opinion, including the views of their own flock. We have the ability to make it a safe procedure and the ability to change the hearts and minds of people to where they don't want the abortions. We have focused so heavily on ignoring the problems that have been developing in our country and thinking that we could just stand zero-sum game, as he says, against these ideas. It isn't working. And the tide is turning against the religious right. And if we don't do something, we're going to have serious problems. Because the liberal left that cares nothing about abortion or life or anything for that matter will burn this country to the ground for the sake of winning an election. So we should be cautious in understanding that if we don't accept some of it with restrictions, then we're going to accept all of it with no restrictions, because it's not going to go away. We're just going to decide whether we allow people to put their lives in danger and do it anyway, or shift our strategy, accept it a little bit, and change our tactics to a place where we can find a middle ground of negotiation and say, hey, where are reasonable restrictions at?
There's nothing wrong with getting your power from other places, because actually, where they can do it most effectively is probably a better idea.
That's where we should make our stand, because we're well beyond the stand of zero-sum game. That fight is over. It was in the past, and we lost it. And if we want to keep losing going forward as the religious right, then we need to shift our strategies, or we're going to be accepting it all in the long run. Thanks for hitting that like and subscribe button. Thanks to my subscribers. Thanks to my new subscribers. Thanks for watching. Later.